Hello, and welcome to our story corner. Today, we're going to meet some animal friends and learn a very important lesson together. Are you ready? Let's begin. Deep in a sunny, grassy meadow lived a kangaroo named Kevin. Kevin was strong and bouncy and full of energy. He loved to hop and play. But Kevin had a problem. Whenever he got mad or frustrated or didn't get his way, he would use his paws. He'd hit, punch, smack. "That's just what I do when I'm angry," he'd say with a huff, as if that made it okay. He thought his fists were for showing how he felt. One bright morning, Kevin was playing with his favorite bouncy ball. His little friend, Ruby the rabbit, hopped over, her nose twitching with excitement. "Ew, can I have a turn?" she asked. And before Kevin could answer, she scooped up the ball and hopped away, giggling. Kevin's face turned red. He felt a hot, bubbling feeling inside him. He didn't use his words. He didn't say, "Hey, I wasn't done yet." Instead, he bounced over in one big leap and smack, he hit her. Ruby tumbled to the ground, dropping the ball. Big tears welled up in her eyes. "Ow, that hurt," she sobbed, holding her little arm. The fun was gone, replaced by pain and fear. But Kevin just crossed his arms. He shrugged and said, "Well, you made me mad. You took my toy." He didn't understand that even if he felt angry, it was never, ever okay to make his friend hurt. He turned his back on Ruby's tears and picked up his ball, but somehow, it didn't feel fun to play with anymore. Word of Kevin's hitting spread through the meadow like a wildfire. Soon, whenever Kevin bounced into the play area, a hush would fall over the other animals. The mice would scurry away, the squirrels would climb high into the trees, and the badger parents would pull their little ones close. "Stay away from him," they'd whisper. "He's dangerous." Kevin felt a deep loneliness creep into his heart. He'd look around at all the other animals playing tag and sharing berries, and he'd feel completely alone. "Why won't anyone play with me?" he wondered sadly, not realizing that his own actions were building a wall around him. He wanted friends, but his fists were pushing everyone away. One afternoon, as Kevin sat by himself under a big acacia tree, a long, graceful shadow fell over him. He looked up and up and up to see Grace the giraffe. She was the tallest, kindest animal in the whole meadow. She bent her long, elegant neck down so her gentle eyes were level with his. She didn't look angry, but she looked very serious. "Kevin," she said, her voice calm but firm, "I see that you are lonely. I also see that you use your paws when you are angry." She paused, letting her words sink in. "I am much bigger than you. Can you imagine how much it would hurt if I hit someone when I was angry?" Kevin's eyes went wide. He had never thought of that. "But I never ever hit," Grace continued softly. "Do you know why?" Just then, a small figure hopped out from behind Grace's long legs. It was Ruby the rabbit. She still looked a little nervous, but she hopped closer to Kevin. "Look," she said quietly. She gently showed him her arm where a small, faint mark remained from where he had hit her. "This still hurts a little," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You say you were just angry, but I'm the one who is in pain. Your anger left a mark on me." Seeing the hurt on his friend's body and in her eyes made something click inside Kevin for the first time. He saw that his anger wasn't just a feeling inside him. It was something that could spill out and hurt others, leaving real, lasting pain. Grace the giraffe nodded gently. "Being angry is okay, Kevin," she explained, her voice full of warmth and understanding. "Everyone gets angry sometimes. I get angry when someone eats my favorite leaves, but hitting is not okay." She gestured with her head towards his paws. "Those are for helping and for hugging, not for hurting. You have something much stronger for showing your feelings." She tapped her own mouth. "Use your words. You can say, 'I'm angry,' or 'I'm frustrated,' or 'I need some space right now.' Words tell people how you feel inside. Hitting just hurts them on the outside." Ruby nodded. "I would have understood if you used your words." Kevin looked at his paws, then at Grace's kind face, and then at Ruby's hopeful one. He felt uncomfortable, but he knew they were right. He had to try. It wasn't long before Kevin had a chance to practice. The next day, he was carefully building a tower of flat stones when Ronnie the raccoon accidentally bumped into it, sending the stones tumbling down. Kevin's fur stood on end. He felt that familiar hot, bubbling anger rise up inside him. His paws clenched into tight fists, and he lifted them up, but then he remembered. He remembered Grace's words and Ruby's hurt face. He took a deep breath, and slowly he put his fists down at his sides. He opened his mouth instead. "I'm angry you knocked over my tower. I worked really hard on that," he shouted. The words felt strange, but also powerful. Ruby, who was nearby, smiled a little, even though she was nervous. "Thank you for using your words, Kevin," she said. Ronnie, the raccoon, looked surprised, but then he said, "I'm so sorry, Kevin. It was an accident. Let me help you rebuild it, even bigger this time." Kevin looked at his hands, open and gentle at his sides. He looked at his friends, who weren't running away, and he realized that true strength wasn't in his fists. It was in his voice. It was in his choice. Gentle hands plus strong words equals real strength. From that day on, Kevin learned that his words were the best tool he had, and the meadow became a much happier, safer place for everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our story today. Remember, just like Kevin, we all have strong feelings, and that's okay. but we also have strong words to share those feelings without hurting anyone. If you enjoyed our story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more adventures. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.